Zombies. They're on television, they're in cinemas, and they're even on stage. Zombies. We just love them to death. To try and find out why, I've been along to the UK Festival of Zombie Culture at the Phoenix Arts Centre in Leicester, and I've been talking to the man who's been running the event for almost a decade, the infamous Zombie Ed. He's got to be the biggest zombie fan in the UK, and he probably has the largest collection of zombie movies in the country. How did the Zombie Festival come about?
It was just, I'd run a few sort of zombie murder mystery events, and I just decided there was enough films around there to run a festival. The Phoenix, as it was, which was on the other side of Leicester, agreed that they would take a punt and see if anyone turned up, and that was 2007. One that really sticks in my mind was we showed the Zombie Diaries. British film, I knew some of the people that were in it, so we got permission very quickly, but it let me find out how challenging it can be to actually get hold of the rights to show any of these films.
So how difficult actually is it to get a movie for one of these events?
It varies. It's either I speak to my colleagues at the Phoenix and they make a phone call and the distribution company says that's fine. That was kind of in the case of Cooties and Maggie this year, but for the more independent films, some of the really no-budget films could be quite simple. You speak to the director and he's just incredibly pleased that you're going to show it, but you can get tied up in theatrical licensing and home entertainment releases and distributors and production companies. So there have been a number of films that I've really wanted to show but just can't speak to the right person.
And it's more than a festival, isn't it? Because I've seen gaming tables and there are other things going on here.
Yeah, we tried to... one of the comments I had from some of the London film festivals where you watch a film and have a pint, watch a film and have a pint, watch a film and have a pint. But there's authors that would really like recognition and want to speak to fans of the genre, there's artists, there's makeup artists, and the gaming means that people can do things in between. We've got some gaming on a cinema screen as well, so that we're raising some money for Help for Heroes. So giving people enough bits and pieces to do, I think turns it from kind of film screenings into a festival.
And you've had directors and you've had cast members appearing?
Yeah, absolutely. We've had, if the American films, we generally have, we try and get them to do an introduction if we can and film it and send it to us. We've had a few of them. We've had some producers come down. There was The Devil's Playground. We had Jonathan Sothcott come down. Rhys Davis, who directed Zombie Undead, he's visited. We've had Charlie Higson from The Fast Show. He came down because he's now known as a zombie author. So we get as many people down as we can. And of course, Before Dawn, which was the film directed by Dominic Brunt, who is Paddy the Vet from Emmerdale, we had him come down. So whenever we can get people down, and hopefully we've got Dan, the director and star of Darkest Day, coming down a bit later on today.
I'm Dan Rickard, and I directed Darkest Day, which is just screened here at the festival.
Dan, tell me a little bit about the story, please.
God, I made it a long time ago. I can't remember the story.
How long did it take you to make it?
No, I could do it. It's basically it's a guy wakes up on a beach and he's got no memory, and he's in Brighton, which unfortunately is an apocalyptic Brighton. Everybody's gone. And then he gets attacked by these zombies, and and then he finds a group of survivors, and he gets taken in by them. But then the army are looking for him, and so they all get chased out of the city, and basically it turns out that there's a bit of a twist as to why they're looking for him. So.
Now, a little birdie told me that this was a no script, no budget movie.
It was. Yeah, we made the film for less than £1,000.
How did you manage that?
Not spending any money, basically.
But I saw helicopters, I saw soldiers in that movie.
You did. I do visual effects, and that's, I suppose, one of the reasons why I wanted to make the film, as an excuse to really push the sort of things that I could do. And so I suppose I took advantage of that, the fact that I could sort of smash up the city.
I saw Chinook helicopters flying in front of me.
Yes, what you saw was a helicopter probably about this big. That was an Airfix kit. Actually, it was Revel, not Airfix. So if I get sued. And yeah, on a blue stick in front of a blue screen. And then when I went on holiday, I sort of snuck the camera out the window and took some footage of the clouds and did put it all together.
And how many troops did you have in the show?
We had 3 soldier costumes. In fact, we only had 2 pairs of boots. And again, via clever editing and also visual effects to duplicate them, we hopefully made it look like a lot more.
So how much of the movie was VFX then?
There's probably well over 100 shots in the whole film. I think there's a lot of probably not obvious shots for fixing problems, things. But I think all of the things that look like we couldn't afford to do probably are visual effects, if you look at it.
And what would your advice be to wannabe filmmakers?
Just do it. And that was my attitude at the time. And a lot of people were saying you can't make this film, or it's gonna. A lot of people were giving me reasons why it wasn't going to work, but I wanted to do it, and I think just do it, and determination is all you need, really, and you need good people around you, and just people. I think the more involvement you give people, and the more creative input people have, the more they're going to be on your side, and they're going to want to get the project finished. So I think that's the 2 things really that you need is just determination and good friends to work with it on.
And how long did you actually spend on it?
Making the film?
Yes.
I started the film in 2005 and finished it 2 years ago, which means it was in total 8 years. There were a couple of years where I wasn't working on the film, so the bulk of it was shot in about 3 or 4 years, and then about 2 years of post-production.
How difficult was it to get distribution?
It was quite tough, but luckily I know other filmmakers who have been there before, so I got a lot of really very good advice from them, and I just emailed as many people as I could, and then had a few offers, and then it was just a case of deciding which was the best offer. Sometimes what seems like the best offer is not always the way to go.
And you said it's in HMV at the moment?
It is in HMV, it's on Amazon. It was in Asda, but I would imagine it's finished its run there now.
My name's Simon. I produced and co-directed the film, and on the DVD there's a 30-minute making of documentary which says how we did it, and there's also a commentary from us and some of the cast, also explaining some of the details of how we put the thing together, really.
And what response have you had to it?
It's been pretty good. There's been mixed reviews, I think it's fair to say, but the documentary on the DVD has had really good feedback, and I think it's really helped give a lot of context to the film and how the film was made, and we're really proud of the film, putting the film together, I think just the achievement of everybody involved in it has given so much time and energy to it. The fact that it has finally come to fruition is really great, and really great to see it here at the festival as well, in pretty much a packed cinema full of zombie fans. Hopefully all having a good time. Yeah, it's really, hopefully everyone got the fun of it, got the enjoyments and action, horror, adventure, and hopefully everyone had a good time.
Hi, my name's Simon Taylor. I'm the webmaster of the Realm of Horror website, one of the UK's longest running horror movie review sites, and I'm here today because I love zombie films.
So what are you looking forward to most then?
Which film you mean?
Yes.
Oh, it's got to be Nightmare City. I mean, that film is absolutely bonkers crazy, you know, and absolutely ridiculous zombie makeup, fast-running zombies, military personnel that keep forgetting you have to shoot these things in the head. It's absolutely outrageous. There's gore everywhere. It really is a fun film.
It seems to me that zombies these days, to be successful in movies, they've got to have a good element of comedy.
Well, yes and no. I mean, it depends. I mean, if you cast your mind back to the Dawn of the Dead remake that came out a few years back, that wasn't overly funny, but it can help. It just depends what demographic you're targeting for.
So, are you looking forward to seeing Army on screen? Yes,
I've not read too much about this film, so I'm going in a bit blind on this one, but I'm looking forward to see it. Now, whether I'll like it when I come out, I don't know, but I'll see what I think when I see it.
Well, I'm here to promote Horrify Me.
And what does that company do?
It's basically portrait photography, but in the style of horror.
Yeah.
Really, really gruesome, hardcore horror as well.
So what kind of images are you creating?
Everything from zombies, vampires, demon possessions, autopsies, devils, impaled people.
There's a real need for that kind of photography?
Apparently, yeah. It took me by surprise.
What sort of people come along for that kind of picture session?
I don't think I can say there's a type of person. Every walk of life I can think of seems to love it. And I think that's because horror is very mainstream now and everyone's kind of got into it. So, it's good for us.
So tell me a little bit more about the images that you create and how long it takes to create them.
Well, the shoots are a good few hours long. The makeup's quite slow. Then afterwards there's a big editing process, that's many more hours. So it's a big job. It's a fine art service really. It's not just an in and out photography service.
So how long does the session take?
It depends what we're doing, but on average 4 to 6 hours.
That's a big commitment.
Yeah.
So there must be really hard fans who come along for these sorts of things.
It's fun. I think people just have such a good laugh doing it. I mean, the pictures look pretty horrible, pretty scary. That's kind of the idea. But doing them is just a blast.
And what's the strangest thing you've done?
I don't know if I can say on camera. Well, I've had...
What's the most difficult thing you've had to do?
I've had a pig's head turn up in a carry bag, which I had to use as a real one. I had some real eyeballs as well, which that lady over there bought.
Did that creep you out?
No, not really. I'm getting quite used to all this weird stuff now.
Things for making stuff. That has got some kids' toy stuff in it that you can mould into any shape. It's great fun. Yeah. Then I'll paint some veins in between.
That's going to be really nice, isn't it?
This is what I do to relax and de-stress.
Yeah. How long have you been doing it?
Oh, now there's a big one. I've been putting makeup on like this since I was at university and that, but when I became a mum I kind of stopped doing it for a long time. And now with Horrify Me I found I can vent it in and create the creations that are in my head at last again. This has got quite a few hours in it, but normally a few hours and you can put something pretty spectacular together. It's just this has been in my head for a long time. I wanted to build it.
How easy is it to actually design and apply something like this?
As easy as it is to pick up a paintbrush and paint something. The things you're looking at here are literally made liquid latex, toilet paper, a kid's palette of makeup from Halloween, and a bit of wool. And it is that simple. And it's just a question of let your imagination go and you'll be amazed what you can create.
Do you create any particular character when you're doing this?
The character kind of comes with my head. The nurse for me was something I wanted to do. I'm a big fan of things like Silent Hill, Nightmare on Elm Street, and all of this particular makeup has elements of all of them in.
I'm Claire, I'm Rick's wife, Rick of Horrify Me. Well, basically I've just come along to support my husband for his work with Horrify Me, and since he's been doing it I've got more and more involved in helping behind the scenes, and it's basically a good opportunity for me to get dressed up and have a bit of fun.
So what do you do for the company? Do you actually help with the makeup in the photo sessions?
I tend to do a lot of behind the scenes stuff, so if there's any footage to be recorded, I'll often record it. I am starting to help out more with the makeup. Today's makeup is my very own work. It's the first time I've actually done a zombie makeup from start to finish, and I'm quite proud of the results so far. Let's hope it stays for the day. So I'm hoping to do a little bit more of that in the future to help my husband out.
Do you often do these kinds of events?
We do as many as we can, but it's quite a chunk of time out for us to come along. So we tend to sort of pick and choose what we think are the best ones, and obviously we think like this today is one of the best ones, so hence we're here.
So how long have you been a zombie fan?
Probably all my life. I've always loved horror movies and things, and then when I met my husband it just obviously enabled me to tap into it a bit more, and obviously with Horrify Me as well.
Do you have any favourite characters from the zombie world?
I do like Shaun of the Dead is my favourite film. I also like World War Z, but don't tell my husband because he doesn't like it. And 28 Days Later, I quite like that one as well. But I think that I also quite fond of the really old classics, or the George Romero ones, and Day of the Dead and all of that.
Why do you think the genre is so popular? I mean, it's on our TV screens. The cinema is full today.
I think it appeals to a lot of different people. So we've had some children come down just to be made up. And we've got gamers that come down and love the gaming aspect, people that like reading the books, people that want to see the trailers. But I think that the films that we show, there's films for everybody. So Darkest Day had a budget of nothing, Maggie had a budget of $8 million, Cooties had a much higher budget, Nightmare City, of course, one of the classic Italian horrors. We show something for everybody, so people can see what's coming up, see what's live in the genre, and also see what's gone in the past as well.
Do you do other things outside of the festival in terms of zombie work?
Not really, no. I work for the NHS as a living, and part of that I do casualty simulation makeup, which is always, about 2 days a month I get to go into work and cover people in gore for the sake of medical examinations. But no, I've just always been a big fan of the genre, and there's one zombie film that I don't like. All the others have got something to offer. I've got about 400 or so myself.
So which was the one you didn't like then?
Mortuary by Tobe Hooper. It's just, I've watched Attack of the Vegan Zombies, I've watched the classic Romeros, all the Italians, the Blind Dead collection, some really, really terrible B-movies that are all works of passion, but Tobe Hooper's Mortuary, it was just going through the motions and just no. I don't know what he was thinking.
Oh, for me, today's big standout film has got to be the Italian trash classic Nightmare City. Really looking forward to that one.
Have you seen it before?
I saw it many years ago on VHS, and I'm looking forward to actually seeing it on the big screen in slightly better definition than it was in the 80s.
What are you looking forward to?
Just 13 hours of zombie films. Can't go wrong.
And have you been to a festival like this before?
Yeah, we've been to this one 4 times.
Yeah. So. Always come back for the good stuff, eh?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, best festival around.
Have you attended any other festivals around the country?
Yeah, Fright Fest.
Fright Fest.
Been going to Fright Fest for 6-7 years now.
Yep.
About 6 or 7 years been going to Fright Fest. We're actually from Hertfordshire, so we tend to do a lot more of the London ones, but we always travel up for Reds Festival because there is really no other festival like it.
It's the best one.
Yeah.
Do you always dress up for them?
Yes.
Does it take a lot of doing?
Yeah. I think we had about an hour of makeup this morning at the hotel.
We do plan them in advance, yeah.
Yeah, we do have to think
Always
about
on
it.
the search for our next zombie costume.
This is true.
Santa, are you the original Nightmare Before Christmas?
Well, maybe. You could knock one out in 20 minutes or you could spend 3 hours. It's all dependent on how much absolute horror that you put in there.
And how long the queue is, I guess.
And the queue as well, yeah, that's true. We do get quite a lot coming up.
So, are you Santa every year?
This is only the second time I've been Santa here, but I'm a professional Santa when I'm not being a zombie Santa.
So this is a busman's holiday for you then?
It is a bit, hence I'm wearing a tatty, crappy Santa suit. Doesn't matter if it gets filthy and that.
So what about today's lineup? What's your favourite among them?
I think my favourite is Nightmare City. It's such a significant film. It's so much more crazy than anything else that we've shown recently, and it's a complete classic. So people that might be interested in the genre because The Walking Dead have perhaps missed it. Cooties with Elijah Wood as well is just an exceptionally ridiculous film. But still amazing fun, and it's different ends of the spectrum. Maggie, Nightmare City and The Darkest Day are all quite dark, depressing visions, whereas later on we've got Me and My Mates versus the Zombie Apocalypse about some telecom engineers stuck in a telecom exchange in Australia without any beer. And then Cooties is of course the only the children get infected story. And then the final film, the mystery film, is Fallen Soldiers, which is the British film, sort of set in the Napoleonic times.
An event like this? When do you start?
Normally about July, so it takes a good 4 or 5 months to try and get it to come together. Looking at films, what we can show, contacting the extra people, so the zombie and horror photographers we have, the artists, the guests. Sourcing the films is the biggest effort, but we also, for this festival I watched about 30 zombie films. Some I really wanted to show but couldn't get hold of people. Others, to sum it up, I've always strongly believed that I can only show films that when people are walking out of the screening I can look them in the eye. And a couple of years ago we got offered a UK premiere of a zombie film, and we were offered a UK premiere, cast and crew, loads of goodies. And then I watched the film and I thought we could have got extra bums on seats because it was a UK premiere, but it was quite bad, and I wouldn't have been able to look at the people coming out the cinema screen and know that I'd given them something. So all of them have to have something about them.